welcome to today's episode of Cooking with Heavy Metal. Being Mother's Day, I thought I would do a roast chicken. It comes from my wife's grandfather's roast chicken recipe we'll be using, and the stuffing, which is an absolute cracker of a stuffing. It's probably the star of the dish. This is something my wife usually specialises in when we're doing roast chicken, but she won't get behind the camera, so I'm having a crack at it today, and hopefully we'll do her family proud of roast chicken on Mother's Day. We have 3 chooks. They're not big, they're about 1.5 kilos, 1.7, and we will cook those 3 in the Bilman's oven. So here we have garlic, onion, cranberries, macadamia, salt and pepper, a couple of eggs, some rosemary, and some bread broken up. You can use buns, a few slices of old bread. We will put all this, chop up the cranberries, quarter the macadamias, put everything in here with a couple of eggs, and give it a good mix like you would like a risotto mix, pretty wet, sort of sloppy mix. And then show you a trick in stuffing it in the chooks and keeping that in there without using any string or anything like that. And we'll show you then what we use as a trivet at the bottom of the oven to cook them for a couple of hours. Okay, so we'll start off with the garlic. If you've got minced garlic in the fridge, you can use that if you don't have fresh garlic. We will just go about peeling these 3 that we have, and then I will crush them and start adding. It takes a little while to prep. Like I said, we're going to cut those cranberries kind of all in half and quarter the macadamia, so I will be here for a little bit. Okay, now we've got everything cut up for the stuffing. We've got our broken up bits of bread in there. We'll go about adding our ingredients, which is the rosemary. We will keep some of that to go on the top of our chickens. Our 1 onion that's been diced up. Our cranberries that have been cut up pretty small. Our macadamias that were quartered. And our bits of garlic. 2 eggs, 3 eggs, I think I might go 4 eggs. I haven't heard my wife say any different, so we're good. Like I said, this is her grandfather's cracker recipe that we're having a crack at here today. Now, I'll start working all this together. Okay, we'll just start adding some milk, soften all that up. Yeah, we've got 3 chooks here to do, and if you make extra stuffing, don't worry, you just make it into little balls, like little mini risotto balls, and just bake them as stuffing balls. Delicious. I really like them crisped up. Just the stuffing on its own as well, it's a little favourite of mine, and this one. We used most of that milk up. It's up to you how dry or wet you want to do it. I'm going to add more bread. You can kind of get it together and make a ball like that. That's coming together, it's holding up pretty good. That's what we like it to be. We'll now stuff this in our 3 chooks. Okay, we've got the stuffing ready, so we'll just go about now getting our oven ready. We're going to use a 15-inch Bilman's oven today, and I'm just going to make the trivet to sit the chickens on. Now, like I said earlier, there's only a few things we use a trivet for, but hey, I'm not against anybody that wants to have a crack cooking their roast on top of a trivet, especially when you're starting out and you don't want to burn anything, and it is a great way to start to learn, is to use a trivet. But we like to use onions and carrots on the bottom for a trivet, and then that turns into the beautiful camp oven gravy that you make at the end. And as long as you don't burn everything on the bottom, These carrots and onions just caramelise nicely on the bottom of the oven. You can put a bit of stock in at the end if you think you haven't got enough flavour, but we'll do gravy with the flour. Is how we do our gravy with the pan juices. Just grab a spoon, and these are all been cleaned out. I'm going to start spooning our stuffing in and stuff that chook for Mother's Day. Okay, a little trick on the ends here that my wife has showed me how to use your legs to cross this up. Just punch a hole through here to tuck the first leg in. Don't lose the hole once you've got it. Tuck all that up inside, and then we will pierce another one through here. I don't want it too big, but you do need to be able to fit it through. Tuck that one over there. There's no wires, there's no tie ropes, there's no nothing required. And that's it, that'll hold up now while we put this on the cook. Now, we will fit 3 in here. Probably could even fit some more, there's plenty of room there. Okay, now the coating for the chooks. We have here homemade truffle oil that my wife makes. Delicious, we use truffle oil on a fair few things. We will brush this over the top. Keep dipping the brush back in after I've hit the raw chickens. I'll just pour it over. Get a good coating down the sides there. It's a beautiful flavour, truffle oil. We also like to use it on our pumpkins. We'll do a video showing you all our vegetables coming up. Okay, we'll sprinkle the rosemary that we chopped up earlier when we did the stuffing on the top as well. And you can put all kinds of things, and people get carried away and lots of rubs go on, etc, etc. Personal choice there. Now we will put the water in. Like I said, we've used this onion and the carrots like a trivet. So just as if you had a trivet. I'll do it now. Now, chickens are probably one of the things that the most moisture comes out of when you're cooking. You won't be surprised you take your lid off and it's bubbled halfway up around the sides. A lot of liquid can be in some chooks. These were pretty lean. And now on top of that, it's just salt and pepper. Take those outside and put it on to start cooking. Meat, an hour per kilo is an approximate. These are like about 1.7 kilo average. So 2 hours will be plenty of time to cook them up, and then we'll see how we're going. We just need to rest them for a little bit. Okay, so we moved outside to put the Mother's Day roast chickens on. We're under cover because yesterday was atrocious, the weather. Got a good bit of coals here. You can see old coals here. We've got terrible yesterday. We got coals going out, all kind of challenges happening.
Now, heat. People struggle with the concept of cooking from the top down with roast and baking. Now, just imagine inside you have a fan force oven. The closest thing we get to creating that same environment in our camp oven is the top heat, because then that creates that massive hot air that's on the top part of the oven as warmth, whereas the bottom is more acting like your grill inside your oven, where if you've got something close to the grill inside, what happens? It starts to cook very fast, crisp, and burn. So that is the bottom. It's going to directly, it doesn't create that hot heat in the oven like your top heat does. So you want far less underneath than you do on top, baking and roasting, in my opinion. It's you like just you get that closest thing to a fan force oven is the top heat, and it just warms up that massive air in the top, and it's not a direct heat, it's an air heat that's then baking and roasting, and you can control it from there underneath. Just keep it minimal, and you'll be on the better side of burning things. Now you might see this big oven here. We've actually got bread rolls in there today. Seeing how they go, we're not going to be far off, I think. Oh, cracker. We can start the coals on that.